With a thankful heart, I would like to share with you what I have learned through the first VBS at MCCC in 1993. First, God is at work to call his servants to serve. God literally called many of his servants from many places together at MCCC that year to make the first VBS happen. You see, after each year of the children music camp in 91 and 92, the desire to hold a vacation Bible school at MCCC grew stronger through prayers. As the children ministry deacon at that time, I first approached Li Hua Chen Li, asking her to take the lead. But God had a different plan. And the question became if I was willing to serve in that capacity. Through prayers and Psalm 66, verse 12, I humbly made a commitment to God to trust Him by stepping up to the plate. Li Hua served as the program director that year, a key position with many responsibilities. She also recruited all the youth helpers and trained them, if I remember correctly. After the planning process officially started in 93, miraculously, a handful of Christian families moved from Chicago to this community, and they immediately joined the VBS team. Among them, Sherry Chan actually started the first VBS in her home church in Chicago, as I recall. I still remember the theme of the VBS that year was Celebration Park. In a theme park adventure, the children learned about Jesus and celebrating the gifts that God gives us. The co-workers all helped and decorated the chapel to make 5 beautiful celebration sites and matched the theme. For the kids and many adults, the chapel suddenly looked so different, beautiful, and exciting. More amazingly, God provided Sister May from RCCC to teach the children hand and body movement that follow the theme songs, which greatly enhanced the learning and added a lot of fun. The amazing part is Sister May had no idea, absolutely no idea, that she would serve in that capacity when she first walked into the chapel that VBS opening day. May saw the needs and offered her help right then, right there, during the opening program. She literally saved me from standing up on the stage, didn't know how to keep the children stay focused. The kids accepted her right away, and I'm telling you, I was relieved. An adult class was held in that week too, which had many unbelievers attending, and they were able to hear the gospel. Counting the number of coworkers' names listed on the program sheet, I found there were more than 60 brothers and sisters involved. Indeed, God provided everything. He is awesome. Second, God is at work to protect and sustain his servants. God protected and sustained everyone going through the first VBS experience. I do not remember for sure how many children we had that year, but it was a large number. There were also many on-site coworkers and parents who traveled each day to participate. Thanks be to the Lord who kept everyone safe during the VBS week. With the nice cooling air of AC, each day of the VBS started with great songs and prayers of thanksgivings and requests from coworkers. I remember the following incidents. One morning before I drove to the chapel, I found the window of my car had shattered and the tiny pieces of glass were everywhere, on the car floor, seats, and driveway. Alerted by the situation, thank God that I was able to act quickly but calmly to clean up the mess. Amazingly, I was still able to arrive at the chapel in time to do the needed preparation work before anyone else arrived. You know what? Till this day, I still do not know what happened to that car window, why it was broken in the first place. In the afternoon of the last day, I felt exhausted after cleaning up the chapel with a small group of youth helpers. Now, remember, I was only in the 30s at that time. That shared experience bonded us together. Everybody was tired. Well, although all of them do not live nearby anymore, but I was able to connect with some of them by Facebook since a couple of years ago. and that was awesome. Right after dinner on the last day of VBS, I started to feel some pains near my stomach area, but thank God it was not severe. Time flies. God has kept me to serve Him since then. I shall continue to serve Him with a thankful heart. Third, God is at work to work on us. God challenged me and many others to serve Him His way in the first VBS. During the planning stage, I learned another lesson of obedience and to put trust in God. I remember vividly one late night, right after I created some big, bold letter poster design on a computer for the VBS sites, I became uncomfortable in my conscience and felt that I would be taking advantage of work supplies, knowing a lot of printer ink would be used up if I did print them at work. So I prayed and decided to abandon my plan. Instead, I prayed to God that I am willing to submit to His guidance and not to take advantage of the work supplies. I decided to trust Him to have the needs met somehow. You know what? God sent Mui Grace Chua that Saturday to the chapel to help out. I knew in my heart immediately that she was sent by God for this task when she first showed up. She completed the needed posters by hand that day. The computer files that I created were never used. Praise the Lord. Looking back at everything that happened, it's evident that God knows more than just what the ministry needs, but our needs for character growth as well. Praise the Lord. In conclusion, having the strong desire to reach out to families in the community with the gospel, a group of coworkers did commit themselves to serve the first VBS. They knew it was going to be difficult with many unknowns, but they were willing to offer what they had. Jesus said, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Acts 20:35. He also said, "Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." Luke 6:38. Indeed, the first VBS at MCCC has been a great encouragement and blessing for all, especially for all the coworkers. Yes, God indeed makes all things work for the good of those who loved Him. Many children grew up with MCCC's VBS ministry through all these years. Many of them were campers at first, then became helpers. They applied the things they had learned to serve others, and many of them were saved. As Paul said in 1 Corinthians 15:58, "Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." Let us all be transformed by the gospel so that we may share it with others, but not only what we say, but what we do. May God bless you and your family and all His faithful servants. Thank you.